Well, I think that the main problem of Italy is very low growth. They have not been growing over the since the beginning of the crisis. They have not recovered the GDP pre-crisis level, and is perhaps in that respect it's quite a unique case, no? And simultaneously, this has to do with there is another aspect, that is the high level of public debt. The public debt ratio is above 130%, one of the highest in the eurozone. I think that these are the two main elements behind the poor performance of Italy. And I think that simultaneously, Italy has some advantages. For instance, it has a current account surplus that indicates that they are competitive. And simultaneously, in terms of fiscal consolidation, if you look at the track record of the Italian budget, well, they have been, over the last 2 decades, almost every year they have got a primary surplus. That is something that is quite unique. So that's the broad picture: low growth, high public debt, but simultaneously, in terms of the private sector, the equilibrium and the balances are much better. So here the point is that, for sure, that they will have to continue restructuring the banking industry. They have done some concrete movements in recent years, but I think that the key element for the future of the Italian economy is going to be structural reform. Is to continue putting in place the main elements in order to recover decent growth.
But how likely is that, given the political headwinds in the country? If you look at what politicians in Italy are currently saying and talking about making plans, this is completely contrary to structural reforms. So do you think Italy is actually headed towards a very adverse scenario?
I'm not going to elaborate on concrete, governments, but I think that the recipe for Italy is quite obvious. They have to respect, the fiscal rules, and whenever there is an agreement between the Commission and the Italian government, you see immediately that there is a reward in terms of narrowing spreads that are positive for not only for the budget but also for the borrowing costs of the private sector in Italy. And on the other side, when you have a confrontation between a government, in this case the Italian government, and the Commission, and the possibility of an infringement procedure, well, immediately, spreads widen. And I think that that's taking into consideration the volume of debt of Italy. This is something that they should pay a lot of attention to.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.